Alright, been about 3 weeks since I posted the last video. Weather hadn't been cooperating, been working a lot, so go put 3 racks of ribs on today, get ready to get these trimmed up. These are spare ribs. So take the fat off this flap right here. Just shape them up just a little bit and get them on the smoker. Alright, got these trimmed up, membrane scored. Some people take them off. I used to. I found they don't really hurt anything. It don't affect smoke or anything, so I just score it and leave it on there. Flap taken off, chop that end off, take the sternum off, which I always put the sternums on the smoker. Just a good little snack. So you check this out. These sternums, a lot of people throw those away. Heck no. Throw them on the smoker right alongside of it. There's plenty of meat on there. I trimmed just a little bit of the fat off. That makes a little good little snack to eat about halfway through. Show you something here also that I bought for ribs. This knife here. You find things like this on Amazon relatively cheap. I think I paid $18, $19 for this. I use it to get through bone. That's why I take the sternum off with. But it's actually shiny. It's just freaking glare. Really sharp. It's made out of bare metal, so you'll wipe it with a little bit of oil before you put it up. But not bad, 20 bucks. Keeps me from having to use my good knives to cut through bone and stuff like hard gristle. So I trimmed them up off video. There's plenty of videos on here showing trimming, and I can do one of those later. But this is the spare rib, not the St. Louis cut. I prefer these. A lot more meat on them. One of the things I wanted to show with this is whether or not to use a binder. You know, a lot of people do use mustard, mayonnaise. I've seen hot sauce. Some people use like olive oil or something like that. I've used binders, but I have found it to be unnecessary. Some people will say, well, you don't get as good a bark, or your seasoning won't stick to the meat. That's not true. Seasoning will stick to this just fine, and this has been patted dry. So I'll actually show you here. I'm gonna do 1 rack with binder and 2 racks without. So I generally do the salt and pepper, but for one of these, I'll do my little homebrew rub. So what I'll do is I'm gonna do that rub on this one with no binder. Then the other 2 racks over here, one will have mustard on it with salt and pepper, and the other one will not have mustard and salt and pepper, so you can see the difference. But yeah, some people think it's completely necessary. I see a lot of it in some of the barbecue groups I'm in on Facebook. People make a big deal out of it, and in my opinion, you don't need a binder. It's just an extra step, just not needed. But to each their own. Same thing with these membranes. Some people swear up and down, you have to take it off. It won't be, your ribs won't turn out good if you don't take it off. I've had good results leaving it on. I used to take it off. It's not hard to take off. I just find it unnecessary. Don't affect the taste, flavor, or anything like that. If you cover your ribs and score these, I don't find it to be chewy or anything. If you don't cover the ribs, then it'll actually be kind of crispy. This right here, sometimes I'll shave a little bit of that off. It's not really thick on this one. On these you have a piece that usually fold there. I've took that off. Some people round these edges and take that off. I don't worry about it. Like I've said in a lot of other videos, I don't do competitions. This is just for dinner. Something else I've said in several videos, there's a lot of right ways to do barbecue and there's a few wrong ways to do it. Same thing with rubs. Some people swear by whoever, they'll buy something, some of the big brands that some of the big name people have put out. Some people swear by what you can find in the store, or you can make your own like I did. I've got a video on here showing where I made this batch. I like it really good. Good good coat on this. And this is with no binder. So you can see, even with a rub like this, it stays on there fine. You can shake it, it's not gonna fall off. So you've been handling it, turn it back over. See? You can rub it, it's not gonna come off. No binder at all, sticks to the meat as is. All right, next up, we'll do the salt and pepper, no binder first. I'm gonna do the binder last because it ended up having mustard all over my cutting board here. This is Diamond Crystal kosher salt. That's what I use in most of my videos. And I'll flip it back over, do the black pepper in a second. Good thing about that Diamond Crystal, it's not overpowering, it's thin, real thin flakes. So you can put it on there relatively heavy. It's not gonna make your meat very salty. Dissolves really good. Yeah, actually, let's do the backside first. In Texas style ribs, with a good coat of black pepper. Usually you can get some on your hands and that'll get the sides on something thin like ribs. See? No binder. You can see you shake it, just a little bit come off, but not much at all. You've still got plenty of coverage on there. And that bone side's actually a little bit drier than the meat side. Edges are important. A lot of people will skip that. All right, salt and pepper, no binder. Nothing comes off. No mustard, mayonnaise, nothing on there. Got a little nakedness going on. Hit that edge a little bit. All right, we got this. Now this will be like about 80% of the people that you'll see on Facebook or YouTube or whatever else. And let's just squirt mustard all over it. Pretty, huh? Now, does this help with the adhesion of seasonings and stuff? I mean, yeah, it could help. I've never had a piece of meat that I found that where it wouldn't stick without this. So if you want to use it, use it. It's just personal preference. I'm just showing the people that are new that you don't have to use it just because a buddy of mine said that's what he does. Well, people think there's only one way to do it. Looks like a lot of things with barbecue. You can cook it on a pellet smoker or a offset. Weber Smoky Mountain electric smoker. You can get reasonable results with all of them. I tend to be kind of biased towards an offset. That's a little bit more traditional. And the general consensus is you get a better flavor. Now it's more work. You're tending a fire, but I like that. It's peaceful for me. You also got, you know, what kind of wood you have to use for this or that. There's no certain kind of wood you have to use. Use what you like. Use like a seasoning. Mustard, mayonnaise, hot sauce. I've used all of it except mayonnaise. I have not done that. Went a little heavy on that side with the mustard, I think. Got a little bit lighter over here on this side. We'll see what that looks like. I'll lay a piece of foil in my tray. I'm putting these in. Keep the mustard from getting all over everything. And if you do use a binder, you can see it don't take a whole lot. You just kind of want it to wet the surface here. And I'm sure I'm like most people. You're grilling and smoking and all that slows down in the wintertime. We've had a relatively cold winter here in North Carolina, so it's been pretty wet too. A lot of rainy days lately. A little bit of snow, if you can call it that. But I hadn't even uncovered a smoker a lot these past few weeks. A little thick right there, so I'm just gonna rub that. Pat it in. Get some of this pepper off the sides here. Boom. Yeah. Here you are with the binder. Tiny amount falls off just like the other way. Not a lot, but just a little bit. All right, finally got these things on and going. Took a little while to get this preheated. It's a pretty cold day. And some sausages on there. I put the mustard binder on top here. And then my rub here and the standard salt and pepper. No binder on the bottom. Of course, little snacks for later, stirring them. So we'll close this thing up here. That sun, I'll tell you, I'll be glad when we get some better sunlight, different season out here. About 3 hours in. The sternums will be ready here in the next little bit. Get some color on the sausages. Here's the one with the binder. You know, at this point, it's no noticeable difference. But your bark formation will be pretty much identical. We'll start taking that on probably another hour or so. All right, finish this video off. Get the ribs done. See, they look pretty much the same. This is the one with the salt and pepper. So one had the binder, one didn't. You get the same bark. They were only wrapped for like the last hour or so. So boil down a little bit. You can see. So no binder needed. Again, if it makes you feel better, do it, but don't feel obligated to do it just because somebody says it's the only way to do it. Because there's plenty of people out here, myself included, that don't use them.